Models.com, it's Lucas Wilson. I'm a New York City hairdresser, and we're here at Mott NYC. I have a slightly less than linear way of getting into the industry. I started working in production at Art and Commerce. I got to see some of the greats, Orbe, Guerin, Jimmy Paul, Guido. From there, I went to hair school and was able to assist Jimmy Paul for a few years. I think Jimmy is so brilliant at what he does. He has such an amazing light touch. Make the hair look soft and movable, but still has a finished quality to it. It feels like effortless in this really beautiful way. I mean, I think it's always like the first, right? Like your first Vogue editorial or your first Vogue cover or stuff like that's really special. I always love working with even James Green. I think he creates a lot of magic and really has a way of letting you play and understanding, like there's a trust there, understanding that what I give him, he'll know how to photograph. And we've had some really amazing shoots together. A lesson that I've had to learn is to like really step back and be a bit more decisive and working on things that I feel very inspired by or driven to do. When you're running a mile a minute and saying yes to everything, it's a quick way to wear yourself out and also not put the best vision forward. Kaya and Bella and Precious, and but also like Dara is so incredible. Body language shifts and people like are in the mirror looking at like this transformation, like a tunnel vision that happens into their new self, and they can really take that energy on and bring it onto set. It's a really subtle thing that happens, but it's pretty powerful and exciting to watch. If we're talking editorial versus runway, they're so different and I love them both. Like the adrenaline of a fashion show is so crazy, and at the end of it, I'm like, oh my god, I'm never doing that again. But then like a week later, I want another one. And then, you know, the editorials where it's like there's a strong directive that it's come into this space and like cut wigs and prep wigs and color extensions or like get really ready, some killer images.
They're like two different beasts.
Total two different beats. Photo shoots, it's like you think you're gonna be prepared for it. You come guns a-blazing, kid ready, and the curveball hits and you still have to kind of like problem solve. I think it's kind of like the fantasy is back in here, and I think the new generation really is leaning into that. Like when you're an assistant, it's so important to be able to kind of step back and observe. I always get inspired by assistants who are like, oh, well, what about like, what if we did this and this and this? And I'm like, you know, sometimes, some days you need it, and some days you're like, yeah, okay, well, we're going this direction today. But like, I think that energy and that like kind of innocence of like how a photo shoot operates can be super inspiring sometimes too.